Morning all, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. It's Tuesday, June the 16th. We've got a few things to get through today, so let's get right to it. US cases trending up slightly, but deaths trending down still, so good news. Florida cases down from Sunday's peak, still at 1,700 odd, which is way up on where it was prior to phase 2. But again, the stats show that hospitalizations staying around the same kind of percentage mark and deaths going down in percentage terms, so that's great news. I've had another look at counties today, so you can see that Miami-Dade, Broward and Palm Beach still contributing more than half the number of cases and more than half the number of deaths. Orange County, very small in both counts. Orlando Mayor Jerry Demings again reiterated that there's going to be no rollback yet into phase 1, but masks may be required to be worn in Orange County. Weather, beautiful day today here again today, no wind. It is going to rain today as it normally does, up to about 90 degrees. Soft openings potentially now for the Disney theme parks. Their cast members are being recalled on June 21 and June 28. Remembering that their theme parks open on June the 11th and June the 15th, so for the dry parks only, CM's being recalled then. So that may well pave the way for early openings for annual pass holders and others. In Universal Orlando, the Bourne Stuntacular is undergoing technical rehearsals, so that's unscheduled previews being randomly opened to guests in the park. So if you're in Universal Studios, look out for that. At Busch Gardens, Gwazi, the roller coaster currently undergoing testing, or it was undergoing testing in March and due to open soon, is now the subject of a mechanic's lien. So one of the contractors there is claiming that it's owed $3.5 million by SeaWorld Corp. So I don't know whether that's going to disrupt the opening. It doesn't mean it's a lawsuit, it's just that the contractor there is asserting its rights to that $3.5 million. So that is the news today. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit that notification button and hit all. You'll get this stuff 6 days a week currently, and I'll be back in the parks when I can get there. If you're finding this of value, please do hit that like button. The algorithm at YouTube seems to like likes, and so do I. But only if you're finding value. Don't just hit it because you want to, or do if you want. So that's the headlines. Let's get over to the detail. Total number of cases recorded in the US yesterday was 20,722. As you can see, the 7-day moving average is moving up very, very slowly over the past few days. There were 425 deaths across the US yesterday, but the 7-day moving average continues to trend down. Following 3 days of record-breaking numbers of cases across Florida, we now appear to be on the way down again. 1,774 cases were recorded yesterday. 7 deaths were recorded yesterday in Florida. And now a 2-day total of 13 deaths makes that the lowest since March the 29th. I was asked to include some stats on the Florida counties broken down. The top 3 there, Miami-Dade, Broward and Palm Beach, account for 52% of all cases in Florida up to date and 55% of all deaths. Orange County, where the major Orlando theme parks are located, accounted for just 4.2% of all cases and only 1.6% of deaths. We've completed another 7 days worth of stats. While you can see that the positive rate has gone up to 6.35% from 4.16% last week, 0.51% of those cases ended up in hospitalizations and only 0.116% of those resulted in death. That's the lowest of the 3 weeks recorded. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings yesterday reiterated at a press conference that he wasn't looking to roll back phase 2 into phase 1. He did say, however, that he may mandate the use of face masks. It's going to be 89 degrees Fahrenheit here in Orlando today, which is 31 degrees centigrade. If you come in here over the next 10 days, you can expect to see temperatures in the high 80s to low 90s, with thunderstorms in the afternoon. In theme park news, Disney World's cast members are being recalled to all their dry parks beginning on June the 21st and then June the 28th. Remember that the Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom open on July the 11th, followed by Epcot and Hollywood Studios on July the 15th, so it might appear that these recalls are a little early. Although dates for soft openings and early access for annual pass holders and others have not been announced, this may be the reason for the early recall for cast members. At Universal Studios, the Bourne Stuntacular is due to open shortly. It's now in technical rehearsal, with guests being invited into unscheduled shows. Universal have said that the Bourne Stuntacular will follow the character Jason Bourne as he fights off sinister characters pursuing him. The show will feature things fans of the franchise have come to love, such as death-defying leaps, motorcycle chase scenes and intense fistfights. At Busch Gardens, one of the contractors working on Gwazi has filed a lien against SeaWorld Corporation for unpaid bills. This is the copy of that lien. Gwazi was undergoing testing in March prior to Busch Gardens closing down. It's not known whether this lien will have any effect on its opening date. Looking at US cases then, on the rise slightly, and that's because I guess more states are going into reopening or going into phase 2. So to be expected, but the number of deaths still trending down. So whilst people are getting the virus, less people are dying from it, and that has got to be the kind of ultimate metric and one that will drive reopening in this country for sure. In Florida, yeah, you can see that again the ultimate stat of deaths is going down, even though we are still over 1,700 cases, which, over the past couple of weeks since we opened up in phase 2, we have spiked. It sent people into a kind of tizzy, and I'm not sure people should be getting into a tizzy. I'm not sure that Fauci should have done that interview with the Telegraph, because all that does is stoke more fires and people's fears. So well done Dr. Fauci for doing that. I don't know how much he got paid, but well done. Fauci isn't the guy that's going to have the final say on when air travel or travel into the US will resume. That lies solely with Donald Trump. Donald Trump is driven by economics, not by health. So I would say whatever Dr. Fauci says, take that with a pinch of salt. Donald Trump will tell us when we are reopening to people from outside of the US. So watch this space. I still think that's going to happen earlier rather than later. CM's being recalled to Disney World. Great news for them. Getting back off of furlough, more people getting back to work. Great news. So June 21st and June 28th, so the June 21 date is almost 3 weeks prior to their reopening on July the 11th. So that's got to be paving the way for soft openings, for annual pass holder previews, that kind of thing. So no comments from Disney yet, but that's going to happen fairly soon, and that means that reservation system has to be going live at some point very soon as well. So watch out for that. And the Bourne Stuntacular, that takes over from Terminator 2 in that theatre location. I love Jason Bourne, I've got to say. I've watched all those films a number of times, so I'm hoping to get back into Universal. I'm toying with the idea of regaining my annual passes and getting back in there, because I do want to get back into Universal and I do want to see that show. And then SeaWorld Corp, who own Busch Gardens, not covering themselves in glory by not paying their contractors, naughty SeaWorld. So $3.5 million owed to, I think it's Rocky Mountain Construction as part of the Gwazi project. Apparently they've got 24 liens on their property at the moment, SeaWorld, and they're also not doing too well in San Antonio, which is another one of its parks. So apparently it's not going to pay its contractors at San Antonio until they open up again, which is really bad. Contractors need to be paid, but I don't know whether the Gwazi is now going to get held up in testing because of the lien. The lien isn't a lawsuit. The lawsuit may follow if they don't get paid. But yeah, for now, the jury's open on when Gwazi is going to open. So that is the news for today. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, stay well, stay safe. See you then. Cheers.